Today we're going to be making a dish using a pork loin, different from the tenderloin. This is a little bit thicker, a little bit tougher, and so you have to be careful about how you cook it. But cooked properly, this is an amazing cut of meat for not a lot of money. As you can see, this was about $3.27 a pound. So I think any good cut of meat that you can get under $4 a pound is a win. All right, so what are we going to do with this? Well, we're going to be slicing it open and stuffing it. We're going to stuff it with some spinach, apple, and onions, which is one of my favorite combinations in the fall. Some cheese, some garlic, and a little bit of prosciutto to give it some saltiness too. I think all of this together will be wonderful. We'll be back to show you in a few minutes how it's coming along. What we're going to do with this cut of meat, and I'm going to turn this cutting board around to kind of show you this way, is we're going to cut right down the middle, almost all the way through, but not quite through, and open it like a book. So we'll be back to show you what that looks like. So you can see we've cut it open, and now it's laying nice and flat. See? It's not very pretty on the inside, but it doesn't matter because that's where all the stuffing is going to go. Only thing that matters is that it was pretty on the outside. And the outside was where all that fat was, remember? That's the beautiful part right there. All right, so we're going to make 2 more cuts to try and get this to spread out even further so that we can roll it. You could stuff it if you wanted, just like this, but I'm going to see if I can get it to spread out even more. We'll be back in just a moment to show you what that looks like. All right, so now we have our meat completely opened up and cut out, and we can start putting some nice fillings inside this roast. And then we will tie it up, and you'll see how beautiful it'll look. Now that we've cut up our garlic, our onions, and our apples, we can go ahead and start stuffing this bad boy. And what I like to do is I like to lay the prosciutto down inside. That just gives me an extra layer. So we're going to start with the prosciutto, layering that in. And you don't need too much, you know, just a few slices here and there, just to make sure when everybody gets a little taste, they have a little bite. They taste that saltiness in there. The prosciutto will also help keep the ingredients in wherever, you know, they may start to leak out, where we might have had some little cuts that we made in the beef. So I'm going to just go ahead. I have to open up another pack. I have one more, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that that's in there, and then we'll be back to show you the rest. We have our prosciutto layered in on top of our pork. We can start putting some filling in. But remember, we don't want to put it all in at the edges, because we're going to want to roll this, right? So, and I've sliced my apples, hopefully thin enough. I want to make sure we get all that goodness inside there. And of course, I may reposition some of this as we start to roll, but I just want to kind of give you the idea, so that you know you're getting all those wonderful flavors in there. We're going to add in some spinach as well. Apples, onions, spinach. And then we want to get some cheese in there too. So I'm going to add a little bit of the cheese and probably put a little more in after, if we don't think that's enough. But that looks like that'll be fine. All right, I'm not going to try and hold the camera and roll at the same time, so I'll be back to show you how this looks after it's rolled up. And here we have it, all rolled up, fat side up. You can see some of that goodness poking through. I'm not going to worry about if it falls out a little bit. But clearly you can see how many people this would serve, or how many meals this would make. So you could do this once and then pre-slice them if you wanted to. If you had a really sharp knife, you could cook these and then just reheat them in a sous vide. There's a ton of ways that you could do this, and it could be many, many meals. We're feeding multiple people tonight, so this is a good one when you're having a lot of people over. So we'll go ahead and we're going to pop this in the fridge for just a little while, and then when about 45 minutes before my guests arrive, we'll go ahead and pull it out, and then we'll pop it into the oven for about 25 minutes on 400. Let's take a quick peek at our roast. I can see that it's starting to brown nicely, especially on one side. We might flip the pan. We're checking on our roast, and I can tell that the outsides are at 145, but that middle still hasn't quite hit it. So we're going to wait and leave it in for just a little while longer. Here is our finished product. We're going to slice into it, and we'll take a quick look and see what we got. So here is our stuffed pork loin. I think our apples could have cooked down just a little bit more, but that's okay. It'll still be delicious.